Alright, all praise to the Most High. Shalom, shalom. That's peace unto you. All praise to the Most High, Yahweh, in the name of His Son, Yahweh Shah, who some call God. Yahweh being the name of the God of the Bible, the God of heaven and earth, and the ancient Hebrew tongue, what we know and understand. From what we know and understand, and Yahweh Shah being the name of who people call Jesus. His true name in the ancient Hebrew tongue is Yahweh Shah. Alright, so peace and blessings to everybody waking up. So I'm going to just title this lesson, Dear New Believer. This walk is not a cakewalk. Coming in and, as a believer is not a cakewalk, man. You would be gladly mistaken. The scriptures tell you when you go to Sirach 2, so we just go there. In the first verse, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. So, and that's because everything that is involved with the truth, people and personalities and, obstacles, like you're still dealing with, personal, affairs or whatever, and then you if you're taking it serious, you start to make this truth, the filter for your life. The scriptures talk about that. Whoso feared the Lord will direct his friendship aright. I'm gonna actually grab that. Sirach 6 and 17. It says, whoso feared the Lord shall direct his friendship aright. For as he is, so shall his neighbor be also. So you're going to pretty much, like I said, through taking this truth serious, you're going to start to make this truth, the filter for your life. So things that's, according to it, not real, you gotta vamoose. You gotta, disappear. You gotta, you just gonna get rid of it, man. It's gonna fade away. Alright? And that's, obviously talking about people as well. The scriptures talk about, what friendship, what communion has, light with darkness. It's a lot about that. 2 Corinthians 6 and 14. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion hath light with darkness? So just through, being a believer of this word, which is the truth, and you living by it, like I said, things gonna fizzle out. People gonna have to fizzle out your, out your life. So, with all that being said, like I said, this truth is not a cakewalk, and because you gotta even go down to the the specifics, such as what type of people, to what degree. Well, the Lord said, whoso loveth mother or father or brother or sister or son or daughter, is not worthy of me. More than him is not worthy of him. Because it's a spiritual battle that takes place. It's a line that's drew. The scriptures is the line. You know what I'm saying? So once the scriptures is in place, like you either on one side of the line, it causes one to be on, one side of the line. and nothing trumps the Bible, so nothing can stand on the Bible or over the Bible, or come above the Bible. It's not a line. You're not gonna. Well, what if you step in the middle of the line, on the line? No, you on one side of the line. You know, if you want to do, if you want to do that, you're not even acknowledged. Why the Lord said, "Would that thou were cold or hot." So pretty much, it's made apparent whether you're one or the other. So if one side represented believers, right, being about righteousness, the other side will represent the opposite. You know, completely. You know, so you either on one side or the other. If you're standing if you standing in the middle, you marked as a non-believer. Because anybody that wants to be marked as a believer or standing for righteousness, or hence are truly believers, they're going to be standing on this. They're going to be outright on that side, and they're not going to be ashamed. But you got some people who have that as their case. Like you might not have the worst. You might have people who might not be the worst, but they basically like lukewarm. So in that case, how are they marked? They're marked as, you know, basically unbelievers. You know, the scriptures say, "Mark the perfect man," et cetera, et cetera. Let me actually grab another one. So when we go here to 2 Thessalonians 3 and let's just get to the point. It says, verse 14, "And if any man obey not our word by this epistle, note that man, like mark that man, and have no company with him, that he may be ashamed." See that? That's just what it is. And then the previous verse say, "But ye brethren, be not weary in well doing." So, and then when you get 11, "For we hear that there are some which walk among you disorderly, working not at all, but are busybodies." So yeah, you got people that don't know about this, that's not involved in this, they ain't trying to be, never knew about it. And they supposed to be put, where they at, which is on the side of unbelievers, despite, anything, regardless of anything. But you also got those that say they're believers that are pretty much doing the same thing. They are to be treated almost the same in a way, because they're among you, but they're disorderly, right? They know the truth, but they don't live by it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't, it's just about one aspect or whatever. They selective, they omit, they diminish words, It says working not at all, but are busybodies. You know what I'm saying? So they not even actually, hitting the mark that the scriptures talk about that we are to hit. So you got to separate from them. So it basically gets to a point to where you basically alone. You not with too many people, man. You can't really deal with. It's a strict standard, or in guidelines that must be met in order for you to deal with anybody. And that's a trial in itself. That's a part of the trial in itself. Standing to these standards. This standard that you're hearing about. This is a standard. This is a person. This believer becomes a certain type of person that has a certain, high standards. It's a certain, once they learn this code of ethics, conduct, and it's standing by that. Period. So you gotta go through the process of getting that right, despite what may be the outcome, how you may have to get that done. You're gonna become the enemy of a lot of people. And then you want to move in a way to where you not create enemies. Like the scriptures say, instead of a friend, become not an enemy. You know? That's why the scriptures talk about blessing instead of cursing. You know, which is not just an easy thing to do. Because, you know, the scriptures already let you know as a believer you're going to be angry. You're going to have times where you're angry. Right? That's why it says be angry and what? And sin it not. You know? Let's get that. It says, for Ephesians 4:26, but it says, be ye angry and sin not. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath. So you're going to be angry as a believer. You know? And you gotta deal with it accordingly. That's why the scriptures say what? You know, as much as possible. Let's grab that. Romans 12 and let's start at 17. It says, I'll just jump to the point first. It says, if it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably. See that? With all men. There it is. But it's easier said than done. That's why I say, because you're going to be angry. You're going to have things that automatically, by design, individuals that's been allowed to come in, you know, people that, you know, you've been amongst and put around, you know, since you were sent down here from the spirit world to be, you know, tested by, to have to be in contrast to, you know, who's just gonna show what they're, you know. Let me grab this real quick. Like I said, they're just gonna pretty much you're gonna just show yourself to be in contrast to you was put down here to show that contrast. So our Lord said there must be heresies among you, that they which are approved may be known among you. So you don't got just that in the church. You got that just, you know, you seen as that just in, you know, like I said, you being a believer in society, you know, hence the personal affairs. You know, as you go, you in the midst, you know, you walk through the valley of the shadow of death. You amongst a crooked and perverse nation, amongst whom you shine as lights. But that's been really since the beginning, you know, before you even realize who you were and all that. You know, what was truth, what you know, was put here to do, what you was put here to stand on and be you know, a light to, an advocate of, you know, an advocate for. This is 2 Ezra 7, and 2 Ezra 7, and he said what? He said this is the condition of the battle. Let me grab that real quick. 2 Ezra 7 and verse. Let's start at 9 real quick. It says, if this city were now given unto a man for an inheritance, if he shall never pass the danger, set stuff set up before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? And I said, it is so, Lord. Then said he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion. So this is a part of the trial. All of this. You know? Now jumping to the main point, it says in the 50s. It says, let's start at, get to the point. Then answered verse 57, he me and said, this is the condition of the battle. This is the condition of the battle. You know? This is the story, this is the setting of the story, the plot, the story you was put in as a character, you know, by the director, the Most High, right? But anyway, it says, this is the condition of the battle, which man that is born upon the earth shall fight, that if he be overcome, he shall suffer, as thou hast said. But if he get the victory, he shall receive the thing that I say. So there it is. For this is the life where Moses spake unto the people while he lived, saying, choose thee life that thou mayest live. You know? So that's basically that, man. So I said the truth is not a cakewalk. Just in the aspects of that. So you're gonna have family members you fall out with, you know what I'm saying? People in the truth you're gonna have to dang. How do I want to word this? Discern through, you know. That's so much, man. You know, so that's why, again, going back to where we started, the scripture said, it's all right, 2 and 1, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, what? Prepare thy soul for temptation. See that? So, you know, there's so much more I can go into and say, you know, because it's on so many levels. You got so many things that the wisdom is fixing about you, it's correcting you on, it's informing you about. That way you become a vessel fit for the master's use. If you ever read that scripture, you know, like basically get you washed to get you clean, to get you cleaned up, you know. And the scripture talk about that. How shall a young man cleanse his way? Grab that. Psalms 119 and 9. Beth, or Bath, it says, wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way? Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way? By taking heed thereto, according to thy word. You know? So, and then I can really just end that with the book of Baruch. You know? It says what? It says, this is the book of the commandments of God, and the law that endureth forever. All that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. So when you come to life, basically things that's not of it, when you're coming to the life, true life, through taking heed according to this word, certain things gonna die off by default, you know. And if you was to not take heed to it, like I said, and you take heed to, you know, something else, you know, you gonna actually die, you know. And then 1 Corinthians 5 and 11, this is a good one for what I was saying earlier. It says, but now I have written unto you not to keep company if any man that is called a brother be a fornicator or covetous or an idolater, right, or a railer or a drunkard or an extortioner, with such and one not to eat. See that? So it's not a cakewalk. You gotta really get this thing set up, get your whole situation right. And the Lord, if you're not doing it like the scriptures tell you, you know, if we judge ourselves, we shall not be judged. You know, so sometimes you ain't basically doing what you're supposed to be doing, like examining yourself to see if you're in the faith. So the Lord, He'll end up chastising you. 1 Corinthians 11 and 31, it says, for if we would judge ourselves, we should not be judged. But when we are judged, we are chastened of the Lord, that we should not be condemned with the world, right? Because He like, all right, you need to clean up. You ain't been cleaning up. I'm gonna get on you. It's like, you know, parents might be looking, guardian over you, whoever, one parent, single parent, however, right? Or just whatever. You know, people give you the chance to make the correction yourself at times. And sometimes you don't get to it. So they end up getting to it before you. So that's what those situations be. Which is why the scriptures say, what? Think it not strange concerning what? The fiery trial, which is to try you. As if some strange thing is happening unto you. Because you're supposed to already knew off the Sirach 2, you know, this is a believer, the Messiah, that you was going to be cleaned up, you know. You know, you're supposed to understood that, you're supposed to believe that. You know, so again, this walk is not a cakewalk. This faith, this truth is not a cakewalk. So I'm gonna end here. First Peter 4:12. First Peter 4:12. Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fire trial. Think it not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you as though some strange thing happened unto you. So it's that simple. So when you got, a situation where, it's like you being punished or something like that. It's or you just being put to some straits, times when, got a little rough, tough, whatever it may be, whatever category from finances to, health, or how you get a cold just so you can start taking better care of yourself. It's his temple. It be stuff like that, man. Whether it's stuff in your household, whatever. So, like I said, this truth's not a cakewalk. And then, if you a teacher, there's that aspect. And then you got something that's known as not being over righteous. Sometimes the Lord puts you in a position where you gotta learn how to balance out and use the world like He told you to. Not be all in the world over righteous and being simple. Learn how to use mammon. Because the time and hour knoweth no man. So we just knowing that all these things must be dissolved, what manner of person we are to be, and all holy, conversation, etc. So, you're gonna have times where, you feeling bitter about the thing the truth brings, but hey, it's like that bitter herb. It's good for you, A sign that obviously you took it. So if you wasn't being chastised, you ain't the son. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta examine yourself to see if you're being a faith. So I'm gonna say, call on my Yahweh Bashim Yahshua. Till next time, shalom.